There are some potential huge moves coming this week in the market, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact setup of how I plan on playing them so that you can just simply follow it and make trading a little bit easier. This is Real Life Trading, my friends. Welcome. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We make videos every single week to help make trading easier for you, to teach you how to click buttons and make money in your trading. So what is the trade setup that I'm looking at this week? It is on IWM. IWM currently on a weekly chart is putting in a massive inverted head and shoulder pattern. This is a very, very powerful pattern and tends to lead to massive moves. And so you can see here we have a left shoulder, all the way down here we have the head, and then over here we have the right shoulder. This neckline, this dotted line is what we're paying attention to. So 232 is the line in the sand for IWM. We start getting strong weekly closures above that, and this thing should take off like a rocket. So if we were to zoom in here onto a daily time frame, we're going to get a better picture of how we're planning on playing this. So of course we could just wait for a breakout to come, sure, but it's also going to be very extended up here, and this is where a little bit of traps start to play through, where you get in and it's going to kind of mess around for a week or two potentially before it goes higher. Doesn't have to, but we have to be prepared for that. Just like it did over here, it's trying to do the same thing over here. So how can we get in at a better price? Because again, the best traders, the ones that are making money, are already up 1 to 2 times their risk by the time everyone else is getting in. And so that's my mindset going into this week here on IWM. What opportunities and what areas can I take advantage of to be able to lose small and to be able to win big? And by the time it gets to my big buying area, I'm already in a position that's up big so that I can take some profits, roll that into my next trade if I want, or just simply add to that trade and make massive returns. So this is the area that I'm looking for here on IWM. I love this support here at 225. I feel like 225 is a fantastic buying area. It's off the 10 EMA here on a daily, but more importantly than that, we have a very strong sentiment level. And why is that? Why do I say that this is a strong sentiment level? Well, let me clean this up here just a little bit. This is a strong sentiment level because the Bears defended it so strongly. The Bulls had a very strong momentum play, very strong gap up with a really nice close. Well, then the Bulls failed to hold this level. So when the Bulls were previously here, they didn't do anything with it. Well, look what happens when we got back to this level. The Bulls got back here, and what did they do this time at this level? They proved to us that they're stronger than they were back here. We had strong closures through this pivot level here, and whenever it came back to retest it, we had buyers showing up once and buyers showing up twice. That is the small signs that this market is trying to bounce. Do I believe it's going to go lower before the bounce comes? Possibly. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But this clue right here, that I just went through, is giving me the confidence to be able to buy this dip. So many people struggle to buy the dip because they don't really know if this is the dip, if it's just going to drop. They don't know where to get in and where to get out. Price action solves all of that. So price actions tell me the bulls are strong. Now, where's the dip going to come? And more importantly, where is my risk so that I know when to cut, and that line in the sand where I know, okay, this is no longer a buy the dip. The bulls didn't do what they should do. I need to cut and I need to get out. My friends, in trading, you are going to lose all the time. I lose all the time. That's everyone does. The difference from successful traders and everyone else, I understand when to cut. The key to success is not about winning on trades. The key to success is how you handle your losing trades. What do you do when you're wrong? You've got to be able to understand on a chart where the Bulls or where the Bears, whatever, did not step in like they should have. And in my opinion, that line in the sand for me really is going to be about 210 to 212. So there's actually a lot of room for this to go lower and still have the Bulls in control and bounce up higher. So I need to manage that and put that into my risk profile if I'm going to take this trade. So if I know my stop needs to be down below this 210 level, because that's where the Bulls are no longer showing me strength, and my target is going to be somewhere up into this range here on this buying level, if I were to get in up here, I have no risk reward, right? I have a lot of risk, no reward. So that means I simply just need to adjust my entry. If I can adjust my entry through here, then I can get a much better risk reward. So now if we start looking at this here, we can start to see, all right, now I'm starting to get a much favorable risk reward, right? The risk is a lot smaller than the reward is. And honestly, the reward is all the way up and through here. But I want to be pretty profitable, at least 1-to-1 by the time it gets back into everyone else's buying area, which is right here. So that's telling me my entry needs to be in this area here. Simply just risk reward and understanding where you're wrong is showing me where to put my entry. And guess what? All the big traders are doing this exact same formula. The big traders are looking to get in here. Why? Because they understand risk. Now, could you go to a smaller time frame and start looking at risk and managing risk on a smaller time frame here? Yes. But that brings in the problems of getting stopped out just to have it go to your target. So great traders that are doing that also understand the risks and the downsides of being a little bit more aggressive. Whereas for me, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative, have a little bit wider risk reward to be able to stay in the game, to take advantage of this and give myself the best chance to make money on this trade. So I am looking for anything right around this 223 level through here is a great buy. Now, again, the bulls are showing me a lot of strength. We very well could just come down to 227 and then bounce. That's very possible. And if that happens, then I'll just look to buy somewhere up through here, because now I have a new higher low form that I can now manage my risk and be able to simply just go something like this here. Boom. That would be my new trade if we start to bounce and close strong, a little bit of a retest, and we'll crank higher from there. That's going to be great, because remember, my line in the sand, that trigger point is going to be right around that 231 mark. So that's what I want to look for. Daily closures up above that 231, and we should be screaming. It would probably be about a month or so at the most for us to start pushing back up into 245, the all-time high area for IWM. So for me, again, I want to try to snag a little bit better of an entry price all the way through here. So I'm going to start around the 10 EMA, around, let's say, first leg 225. So 225 is where I'd probably start legging in, and then a lot heavier, probably around 223. And then the most of my entry is going to be right around that 220 mark. I think anywhere through this support here is where the bulls should be at, and they should hold. If we start getting below 220, that'd be my first sign that maybe things are a little bit off, and it's a potential that we are going to actually start to drop below this 210 level and get stopped out. But I'm just going to take my risk, understand the odds and probabilities, and be able to lose small here if I'm wrong, to give myself a chance to take advantage of what the markets are starting to show me that they want to do. Remember, the markets are revealing their hand. We have a high probability that bulls are going to play through because of what they did in this previous key sentiment area. So I think dips are going to come in. I believe dips are going to get bought, and I believe we have a higher move to come. It's just when. That's where the probability lies. If the bulls don't step in, this is going to drop, and I'm going to take a loss on this. I just need to lose small, because I believe the reward on this is huge. Trading is just like a business, my friends. That's it. You've got to spend some money over here to buy a product and turn around and sell it for more. Sometimes you take a loss on the product. Most of the time, you should be able to take a big win on it and take a return on it, right? That's all trading is I'm just playing this 50-50 game of, if it comes down to here, I'm going to buy. If I'm wrong, let's say I lose $100. Right? But if I'm right, I'm going to make $1,000. And that's going to be the risk reward that I'm looking at. I'm looking at 10-to-1, 5-to-1. Those type of returns are what I'm trying to get on these trades, and understand when the markets are starting to show you their hand, because that's going to start revealing where those higher probability trades are at. So this is more like a 60 or a 70% probability trade now, because of the price action and markets showing me its hand. And that gives me a higher percentage chance to be able to make money, which means I want to put the risk on. There's still a chance that I lose, 30 to 40% chance that I lose on this trade, but there's a higher probability that it's going to bounce and it's going to win. So that's the setup that I am looking at this week. Again, if it runs, great. I will start planning my entries up here, because now I have a new higher low to manage my risk off of. Currently, the higher low is down through here, so I'm going to wait for some pullbacks. And if I get pullbacks, I want to start buying all the way through 225 down to probably 222 area-ish, this box, right? And I'll be using price action on a smaller time frame in this area to help me to be able to time this up. So you can follow along on this, watch price action through here. This is the high probability of where your bulls should be at, and we know where we're wrong. So down below 210, we know the bulls didn't do their job. Get out of this trade, because then there's a possibility that bounces are now going to be met by more bears to push us back lower. So there could potentially be a flipping trade here where we could go bearish on it if we want, if that scenario played out. But right now, the bulls are in control, and I believe there's a very high probability that by the end of the year, we will be at all-time highs or even higher, based on this inverted head and shoulder here on a weekly time frame. It looks fantastic. And I do believe the next stop is going to be that 245 to 250 mark. Then from there, who knows? We could continue a lot higher because the expected move of this inverted head and shoulder is going to be taking us all the way up into 288, 290. Very, very strong and really high probability that this could be playing out. So I am jumping all over this bull momentum. When the markets show you their hand, that's when I want to trade. That's where I want to try to make the majority of my money for the year. Everything else, I'm just selling options to bring in a paycheck. These are the trades that really build the account and make the year, but they don't come around very often. So be patient, understand what to look for, and when the setups come, that's where you want to jump on it. So that's what I'm looking at this week. I hope this video helped you, my friends. If you are struggling to see consistent profits, come check out our completely free online trading course for the guide to consistent profits. We're giving this away completely for free for this month. Go ahead and click the link down below to access that course and come check out our trading community for $97. You can join our community for life. You can get access to over 20 hours of online trading courses, all included. Get coaching with me in a group setting every single week. Again, completely for free for the rest of your life. So $97 one time in the trading community, and you get coaching for the rest of your life. So you can ask me questions, show me trades, say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or what strategies would you use here? How can I build strategies? Whatever you want. You get access to me and my other professional traders every single week for just $97, not to mention our awesome Slack community as well. So don't pass this offer up. It's valid for this month. Jump in, take that free course, learn more about that, but then afterwards, come check out our trading community for $97 just one time. Come join the party, and let's show you how easy trading truly can be. Enjoy this week, my friends. Follow your plan. Let's see how this week plays out.